Hello, everyone. Caren Glasser here, and welcome to the Super Boomer Lifestyle Show, brought to you by the superboomerlifestyle.com, your one-stop shop for brands we know you will love. Today, we are welcoming Terrah Bennett Smith. She's the star of the new television series, My Sweet Life. We talk about getting busy and living our dreams. We have a great show for you today. If you're here live, awesome. Make sure you put a comment down there, and we will get back with you and respond to you. We might even put you up in the comments on the screen. If you're here on replay, just as wonderful. We love you too. Make sure you comment. And shamelessly, we ask you to share. Reach down to that share button, push it. We'll wait for you. I'm kidding. We're not going to wait. We're just going to keep on going. This is the show where we talk about all those things that empower us as super boomers. And I always like to start the show with, the Super Boomer pick of the week. And today, the Super Boomer pick of the week is luggage. How many of you travel out there? Let us know that you're traveling. Put your comments down there. I travel all the time. And for me, the most important thing is the ease of traveling. I'm a little girl. It's hard to schlep those things all over the place. Get them on rollers. Make sure they spin around. You're going to love it. Go check it out in the Super Boomer Lifestyle store. All right, guys. I told you we have a great show. Our guest today is awesome. She's a producer, director, actress, singer, songwriter, mom. Oh my God, I'm exhausted. LOL. She's the CEO of the management and production company called Royal One. And she is also the co-creator and star of the new television series, My Sweet Life. And today, we're blessed because we have her in the studio with us. So we welcome Terrah to the show right now. Terrah, how are you?
I'm good. How's everybody out there? Thank you, Caren. This is so much fun. I know I mishap the last time, but we got it worked out this time.
I know. I was just going to say that. We had to wait with bated breath to get you on the show, and we finally have you on the show, and I'm thrilled. You know, we always like to talk about what a super boomer is and how you would describe a super boomer. So I talk about super boomers by what they're not. They're not defined by an age. They're defined by how they show up in life. So Terrah, how do you describe a super boomer?
Well, I agree by what they're not, but adding in someone who, like you said, is not defined by an age and who does not allow themselves to live by what other people think. When you get to that age in life where you no longer care what other people think, when you have raised kids, whether you have raised kids or not, because whether you've raised kids or not, you've lived like you've raised somebody's kids, you've helped someone, you've mentored someone, but you get to that place where it doesn't matter what you think of me, I'm going to do me. That's when I feel like a super boomer.
I love it. I love it.
To get there sometimes.
Oh my gosh, so true. Joey Garrity says, so glad you are on the show. You already have fans out there.
Hey,
I'm so glad you're on the show as well. So here's the thing. Today, the topic is how we're getting busy and living our dreams. So if you're just tuning in right now, we're here with Terrah Bennett Smith, and we're talking about just about living our lives and living our dreams. So the first question I have for you, Terrah, are you living your dreams?
Absolutely, padootly. I have this saying that I heard someone say years ago, but I've adopted it as if it's mine, that I woke up this morning, everything else is profit. I don't care what it looks like. I don't care what you're going through. If you get another shot at this, then you get another shot at this. And
Amen.
To not live it to the fullest, like as if no other day matters and no other time, no other moment, because nothing else actually matters when it's not here. It's such a waste. It is such a waste. And to project so far ahead as to, I don't know how this is going to happen. I don't know what's going to happen. Hows, to me, the acronym for hows that my friend Linda Logan says is help is on the way.
Oh, I love it.
Once you set that in motion, that I don't have to know the hows, I just have to put one foot in front of the other and keep going. So it's all about waking up and finding the things that you love and that you're passionate about and starting them. I don't care if you don't have the money. Once you start it, something else happens. It's like this universe just goes. It snowballs. So, but you got to start. You got to start.
Absolutely. Just start. Sometimes you just have to start. And that's sometimes the hardest thing because we get caught in, as you said, in the what ifs. You know, we mentioned in the beginning that you have a new TV show that's coming out. It's in production. It's called My Sweet Life. And I'm going to go ahead and adjust this a little bit right there. Tell us a little bit about this television show. I've been reading your deck, you know, your PR and all this stuff and the reel. It sounds really, really interesting. Tell us a little bit about what this TV show is going to be about.
Okay, well, it kind of came about with my friend and partner, Tess Cacciatore, who was doing a director's competition thing for something. I don't even remember what. And so I was just slowly getting back into acting because I'd stopped after I raised my kids and I was like, I'm so sick of this business. So I said, hey, I'll be the lead in it. So we shot that and it never went anywhere for some reason. It just didn't happen. And then like a year later, we were talking and said, why don't we turn this into something? I don't know if she said it or I said it, one of us said it. So then we sat down to co-create this project. It kind of evolved into a woman who lost herself over the years a little bit, you know, she's married, now the kids have left and she's divorced and she's just finally figuring out who she is. She's always had a career, but you know, when you stop feeling sexy, you stop feeling pretty, you just get in work mode, raising kids mode, and doing what you have to do to survive mode. And then one day you wake up and you look in the mirror and everybody's gone to school or got their own apartments. You're like, who am I?
And that's why you're such a perfect guest for the show, because of what this show is all about. So what happens with, I think her name is Celeste, right?
Celeste, yes. So Celeste is a publicist. She's a very well-known publicist. She just decides, I'm going to take a trip. That was her first kind of out. Kids are out. And so she goes abroad and she starts to rediscover herself. She starts to rediscover sexiness. And then on top of that, there's some other fun stuff, which I can share a little bit of. You know, she starts to rediscover that, you know, sex ain't what it used to be back in the day. You know what I mean? It's like, whoa, this is very different at this age range, you know? And so it covers everything that's real. Every single thing that's real, it covers. So everything that's woman, everything that's real. And we also tackle a lot of social issues that, you know, we figure out a way to infiltrate it into the storyline so that we're covering not just women's issues, we're covering mental illness, we're covering abuse, we're covering a whole bunch of other things.
It's about time, actually. It's about time. One of the things I'm fascinated about with this show is you actually have a talk show that's integrated right into this. How does that work exactly?
Well, what it is we call it a talk back. So whatever the issue is, hypothetically, we're covering something on abuse or one of the topics, then at the talk back would be we'd have specialists and things on covering that particular topic so we can get some more information about it, you know, so everybody can kind of chime in and we have an audience and all of that stuff. So that's what it's about. Yeah. Because, you know, to have information or to have people talk about things and not really get deep rooted into it, you really sometimes feel like you're not walking away with anything, but being entertained. And the purpose behind anything that I do, my projects, they have to have a purpose. I don't like to just do things just to do it. If it's not feeding a soul or moving someone forward, then what are we doing here?
I so agree. And do you feel that as we have gotten a little bit older, that the dreams and the things that we are thinking about change as we get older? Different things become important. Our life transitions change our perspective. Would you agree?
Absolutely, totally. I know that's how it was in my life. You know, I mean, there was a time when all I wanted to do was be famous. And then the closer I got to being famous, I remember traveling when I was doing music. And I realized I was on tour, I was a recording artist, and I was on tour. And I realized I can't do this. I like to go home. And I don't like to dress up all the time. I like to look like a ragamuffin with a hat on. Those things don't go together. You know what I mean? And the more I realized I got to know who I am and it's got to work for who I am, then I had to make adjustments in my life to fit the me that I was becoming and not the idea of what it looked like.
Yeah. I resonate. I totally resonate with that. I'm also a singer. I also was on the road for many, many years. And at a certain point, I just said, why am I doing this? You know, I need to redirect my attention. I mean, I sang at Carnegie Hall, for God's sake, and now I don't. Now I sit in front of a computer screen and in my live stream. But transitions have made a huge difference in my life. If you're just tuning in, we're talking about dreaming big and how our lives are changing with transitions. We have a comment. Let's see. Let's see what Joey says. There was a time all I wanted to do was become famous. This is your quote, and I realized that I got to know who I am. That is such a great comment.
Yeah. And you know what else helps that, especially having children, your priorities shift, and the time, because can I just share something really quick?
Absolutely.
Somebody that I know had asked me one day, she said, because a lot of my friends who started out with me, going on, and they are very famous, like A-list famous actors. And how does it feel not to have become successful? And yeah, just like that. And that's the first thing you do is you go, ouch. And then you go, wait. And so I stopped for a moment and I thought, and I said, okay, let's see. I was on Broadway. I was a recording artist on RCA. I did a lot of television. I did a lot of commercials. I've directed feature films. I've directed commercials. I've directed award-winning stage production. I've had 3 amazing children who to this day have given me not one day of headache. I just went down my list and then I looked at her and I said, I'm good.
Well, it's what is your definition of success, right?
Exactly. I got to live this journey and do the things and never backed away from someone offering me an opportunity because it was foreign to me or I wasn't sure of how I was going to do it. So for me, I'm successful because everything I said I wanted to do and was presented the opportunity, I did it. And if this was my last day, I could say, you did it.
And now you have the new television show coming out.
Exactly.
Which is, it's an original show.
Mm-hmm. Right. Co-wrote all the episodes, producing all the episodes. Mm-hmm.
I'm exhausted. I wasn't kidding. When I read your list of things, and I didn't even put everything on because at a certain point it was like, okay, enough already. I mean, I know that you're a writer, you do all these other things, and you're a mom. And it was interesting when you gave me your short little bio for me to introduce you. It was really important for you to put down not just once, but twice that you're a mom.
Well, yeah, my children are now 24 and I have twin boys who are 20. One of the prerequisites for being my child was that you had to have a business by the time you were 16.
Oh, I love you already.
You have to be successful. It was just about creating and understanding that you are in charge of your life.
Yes.
And you can always, like my daughter now, she was working with OWN and she left OWN. Now she's at the New York Times in New York. So she just moved in. My son started a film festival when they were 14, but now they are also influencers and doing some other things. But the point of that is that you will never have to wait for anyone to decide your destiny when you have learned how to utilize the muscles, your own muscles to create for yourself. And that was part of it. So my kids if I did nothing else right on this journey, I got that part right.
And I actually personally believe that being a parent is such an important job. When people used to ask me when I took like 6 months off between having a baby and then not going back to work, that I wasn't working, that somehow staying at home, raising your child was not work. I think it's one of the most important jobs. I'm sure you agree.
Exactly. And it is the most important because you are now setting the tone for how their lives are going to play out. And the best thing that I could do for myself is have taken my time and put in my work so I could parent from my best self, because we come in damaged from all the other stuff, whatever reason, but to then transfer that over and not have done self-work to transfer that over on these other beings it's almost it's unfair, so
I agree.
Yeah. Anyway,
you don't just talk your talk, you walk your talk.
Yeah, and it's not always easy, but we do it.
And you're a wonderful example for your kids and also people that are around you. You have a saying that says you are living your life bigger, badder, bolder, better self every day. I love that so much that I had to put together a scroll for you, that you're telling people to go out and live your bigger, badder, bolder, better self every day. Tell me how you do that.
Well, one of the ways is just by not caring. And I don't mean in a sense that's negative. I mean in the sense that What you think of me is none of my business.
Yes.
So when I go out, if I want to talk to the man over here and not be afraid to talk to that person, I just do it because and stepping into places that I'm uncomfortable. You know, I might be uncomfortable getting up and in a karaoke and rapping, which I did a few months ago. I had everybody up on Sugar Hill Gang, you know, having a good time. One of my
Love
friends,
it.
you just amaze me because you just do anything. I'm living my boldest self. Bold, and also figuring out, one of the things I figured out was, what is my color? And then I realized where my boldness lies. My colors are oranges and reds and very bold colors. And when I realized that's who I am, I decided to live those colors out in my daily life. So everything about me is bold, is bad. And I'm better than I was a month ago. I'm bigger than I was a month ago. And yeah, so that's kind of what it is.
Well, apparently you and I are on the same wavelength. We're wearing almost the same color shirt today. Same style. Guys, I did not call Terrah and say, so Terrah, what are you wearing today? This was just exactly. You mentioned to me before the show that you are involved with something called the AFBC Film Group. What is that?
Well, a friend of mine, Nikki Crawford, who's actually starring in a Pulitzer Prize play in Washington right now, she put together 3 additional women, herself included, to come together to be a support system and to create. And because we're so much better in numbers, especially when you find like-minded women.
Yes.
Because we have so much that we do on a daily basis, it can almost be impossible to get everything done. But when you work with women, especially because I think we're really great multitaskers amongst other things.
Yeah.
But when you find a group of women who you can lock in with to take a project from a conception through fruition. I can never say that word, fruition. I can't say it. To the end.
To the end.
I can't never say fruition. Anyway, it has proven to be a great situation for me because I've had a couple of other partnerships that didn't work out and I was shying away from partnering with women. But what I realized was that it's not partnering with women, is partnering with women who do what they say they're going to do.
Exactly. I like to say women who inspire women rise together, and we are powerful together. I mean, I said that to you even before the show, that I believe that collaboration is queen, not king, is queen, and that only together can we accomplish great things. There are a lot of people out there that are in this space that are making such a difference, but when we come together, there's nothing we can do, right? Nothing.
And because, so these 4 women, Shelley Robertson, myself, Connie Jackson, we're all actresses, and Nikki Crawford, but every time we have a meeting, we get together, everything that we said is done is done.
I'm jealous. I love that. I love that.
And so it revitalized my faith in partnering, and I'm very excited to be a part of this. So we're working on a project that's coming up towards the end of this year, plus some other things, speaking engagements and empowering younger women, you know. So,
and you have a book coming out, I know.
I have a book coming out called Connecting the Dots that has been on my shelf called The Computer for the last 2 years. But that's another thing. That was one of those other things that, you know, you do and then you put aside because whatever reason. So it's
maybe because you're really, really busy. Maybe because you have this list.
I've been wanting to finish it because it goes. But you know what? Timing's also key. It's called Connecting the Dots, and it's really me looking back. I did a short. Let me go back. I did a short film a while ago called Blueprint, and Blueprint is about what shapes us, basically, and you know, and how we become addicted to behaviors. And I had to use my own past as a situation of me becoming an addict to my situation, and how your brain and the chemical, and it's almost like a craving of something. So I did this whole short film on that, and part of it started prompting me to write this book as I looked at all of the pieces, how the pieces came together, almost like the dots to form this whole person.
Right.
So it's a workbook / book called Connecting the Dots, where you get to go through different acts in your life and connect your dots while I'm connecting my dots through the story. And then at the very end, you just rewrite your script. You know, what script do I want now to live out to be my bigger, better, bolder, better self?
I love it.
We're living scripts daily, but we think almost as if we're living a script that somebody's now written for us. But we're not. We're living. We're not. We're living the scripts that now we've written for ourselves.
Which is an awesome place to be, right? It's an awesome place to actually inhabit. You know, you basically say that you can pretty much do anything that you put your mind to, except swim. I think you said.
Yeah. Except.
So how does that manifest?
What, the swimming or the?
No, not the swimming. The fact that you believe you can do almost anything.
Because I think we all can. And the only reason why I can't swim is because I have blocked it. I have drowned as a young kid and I've tried. So I just let it go. But anything else you give me that I'm not deathly afraid of,
right.
I believe it's something that I wasn't a songwriter. I'm a songwriter. I'm an ASCAP songwriter. I wasn't a director. I have videos of me saying I would never direct. Oh God, no, that's not true. You know, so I think that when we're passionate about something, we can do anything. We can make anything happen, but it starts with self-belief. And when you don't have that, then pretty much forget it. You're defeating yourself. But right. I just believe that we're capable of flipping some stuff around when we really and truly want to.
I so agree with you. If you had one message to tell women today, men today that are watching right now as to how to be their bigger, badder, bolder, better self every day, what would be that one thing right now that they can go out and express themselves? What would you suggest?
If there's anything you've ever wanted to do and was afraid to do it, write it out and break it up into like bullet points. And then every day just tackle one.
Love it.
That's
one step at a time. One step at a time. We're talking with Terrah Bennett Smith today. We're talking about living big and living our dreams and just basically doing what we want to do in this next reincarnation of whatever life we're in right now. I believe there's a next. We don't just all of a sudden just stop, right? We just keep going. If you want to be connect with Terrah, you can connect on Instagram at the Terrah Bennett Smith. You can also check her out at her website, www.terrahbennettsmith.com. And she's also on Facebook. Of course you are. We all are. And just put in the search window, Terrah Bennett Smith, and you're going to find her there. Do you have any last minute thoughts? Anything that you want to share that maybe we haven't touched upon? We always like to leave people wanting more so that they're going to reach out to you. I really encourage you to go reach out to Terrah. Is there something that you would like to share with our audience that is really near and dear to your heart that we haven't already touched upon?
I think we've kind of touched upon everything. I think that one of the things I always say is that why not?
Right.
Why not?
Right. And so many people ask the question, why, right?
Why not?
Why not? I think that if people actually ask that question when they're standing in front of an opportunity or deciding what they want to do, they should say, why not? I like to say, what's the worst case scenario? If I can live with it, I'm going to go do it. Or I go and do it and figure it out later. I mean, it sounds like you're that kind of woman too.
Yeah, a lot of people say this is year of the yes. I adopted that for about 2 seconds. I said, no, this is not, because I may want to say no and that's it. But why not? And it forces me to answer. Why not? Well, because I'm afraid that's not a reason.
I agree. Guys, as you're listening to the conversation, and we talked about the new show that is coming out, and that is My Sweet Life. It'll be out sometime in the near future. I want you to put it on your radar so that you can
subscribe to, go like our Facebook page, My Sweet Life, the series, and then you can keep abreast on what's happening, and also on Instagram. We're slowly building it because we're still shooting. We're still filming some of the episodes right now, but we're going to do a full-on launch. So.
And I would be remiss if I didn't say the way we met was through one of my very, very good friends, Joan Ryan, who has been on the show. And Joan's going to be in the show.
Yes, Joan plays a friend of mine who's a friend of mine.
I love it. I totally love it. I want to thank you, Terrah. We finally got our acts together today to get you on the show, and I am so delighted that you are on the journey that you're on and that you were able to share this with our audience today. I'm going to drop you into the green room for just a moment as we finish up the show, and don't go away because I'm going to come back and get you later on, okay?
Okay, no problem.
Bye-bye, Terrah.
Bye.
Okay, so here, guys, here's the thing. You know, each week I like to talk about the super boomer moment. What is that one thing that totally just struck my attention, and I said, I need to do something about this. And I've said it several times already in the show because I like saying it out loud. It actually kind of rolls off your tongue. You're living your bigger, badder, bolder, better self every day. And that's how I like to live my life. And I can tell that that's exactly how Terrah lives her life. And I'm suggesting that you guys go out and live your life that way too. Whatever is bigger for you, whatever is badder, bolder, however that shows up in your life, just do it. As Nike says, just do it. We would love to have you follow us on social media as well. You can check us out on Twitter at SuperBoomerLife. That's as close as we could get to our name because it does not allow any more characters. So it's Super Boomer Life. You can also check us out on Facebook at The Super Boomer Lifestyle. I want to thank you. We know that you have a choice as how you spend your time, and you chose to spend it with us today. I am very, very appreciative of that. I know that Terrah is as well. We want to thank you for making that choice, and we'll see you next week on the next episode of the Super Boomer Lifestyle Show. Goodbye.